Hey, how's it going, everyone? It is Drago, and we're back with another chapter of Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest, chapter 185, The Sace Bond. And the cover page for this chapter has Raj on it, and it shows his regular form and then the dragonized form. Exactly the same as last chapter's cover, showing another Fire and Flame member, but the dragonized form and the regular. So the chapter picks up with Fairy Tail starting to go against Fire and Flame, and it looks like Lucy's starting to summon in Taurus, but you don't get any continuation to that fight because we cut away from them pretty much immediately, which is where we cut back over to the Arashio and Sace. And the first fight we really focus on is Cobra's fight, which is where the last chapter left off. And he was kind of freaked out because this guy was reading his thoughts and he thought he was having the same ability that he does, but apparently he can just straight up read people's thoughts and not like hear their movements. And both of them pretty much kind of think they can outdo one another because he's like, well, I could still hear you, but then Blade hears is like, well, I could still read you. So they're both thinking they can counter one another. But honestly, it turns out hearing was not as good as reading because he just straight up gets cut down. And that is Cobra basically losing round one of this fight, which is where we cut back over to Angel and her fight. And it seems like this first part is just them like fist fighting. But I do genuinely like that you get Angel having more expanded magics here. And I like that she's still going on about like an angel won't lose to a demon. But she gets this whole like angel wing panel. And I think that looks super cool. And it's kind of a more unique ability for her and actually is more fitting for a character going by the name Angel. And she does an attack called Angelic Feathers, which very cool looking. But doesn't do too much because it just gets straight up melted away. What she gets counterattacked by an attack called a Nightmare Melt, which, yeah, they just really wanted to be mean to Angel. Basically melting off most of what she's wearing and honestly really having her very beat up after that. I think this next part of the chapter might be probably my favorite bit. To get Angel getting back up from being bathed in acid, which I like that she has this motivation now to where she doesn't want to lose because she wants to, be able to be with Yukino some more in her life. Probably the most interesting thing that she does right here is she opens a celestial spirit gate, which you would think that she lost all of her keys, especially like during the Arashio and Sace arc. But the one that was always missing when all of her keys decided to jump ship from her and go to Lucy was the silver keys. And the case of what she's summoning right here was the Gate of the Chisel. Pretty cool that I guess she kept it somehow. I don't really know how she kept the silver key of all things, but I guess silver keys are more common than the golds. So maybe she was just able to find a replica or something or hid the original somehow. But I just find it cool that for one, we get to find out what actually happened to that key in particular because she did use it in her fight against Lucy, but then also find out that she's still using celestial spirit magic, which is kind of fun, especially since her sister is also a celestial spirit mage, which, yeah, dang, she absolutely would have killed her target if not for her special ability here, because she absolutely blew a gigantic hole through her. But apparently she can use her body to melt too. So I wonder if her body's kind of similar to Juvia, but in the form of acid instead of water. What she does, one more attack, absolutely bathing Angel in acid, and that's kind of her being down now. Which is where we cut back over to Midnight and Zero. And kind of an interesting dynamic that's going here because he is kind of smirking and saying another one of my children down. Kind of interesting that he viewed the Sace as his children, but then also is joyful that they're getting defeated. Which is where we cut over to Melody in her fight. The first panel with her here, she is not doing too hot. She's getting beat up as well, which honestly, she kind of tries to do the same move she did to Juvia with putting that link on her and her opponent to have any pain inflicted on her would be inflicted on the opponent, which he just breaks that link pretty much immediately. I'm not really sure as to how he did it, because pretty much everyone's been kind of stuck with that. But he just straight up summons a metric ton of demons right behind him through like a demon gate, and Melody is getting swallowed up by that. Kind of reminds me of like Dark Capriccio, to where Zero did that to like Natsu, but it was like kind of ghosts. Just when it looks like all the Seis are going to be defeated, that's when you get Racer stepping in and starting to rally the original Arachion Seis. I genuinely really like his dialogue about like not losing before him and you guys better win right before me. I love that he's saying this while freaking absolutely kicking around his opponent and just beating the ever-living crap out of him, which does start to resonate with some of the Seis, because you cut back to Cobra and he wakes up from his defeat. And I genuinely do love that when he starts to stand up, you can tell he went into Dragon Force. And he's pretty dead serious, because he's like, I ain't gonna lose to you like this. And the final page for this chapter has Cobra absolutely looking awesome, with him saying, quit joking around, go on and hit me if you got the guts to stick it in this poison. Which I absolutely love, that he's got that giant poison cloud behind him, and he's still in his Dragon Force. And the final line of this chapter is, I can hear your hesitation, which is a pretty cool line for him to finish the chapter out on. So with that, it is the end of this chapter, so my thoughts. Honestly, kind of thought we would get a little bit of more of a back and forth between the Seis and Team Fairy Tail and their fight, but no, it was just only the Seis. Genuinely really liked certain moments here. Yes, the Seis were really losing, but I do like Racer's kind of rally for his team. And I genuinely love that we got to see that Angel is still a Celestial Spirit Mage, and also just some additional magic from her. Very cool. I also really do like the motivation she has with Yukino now, so that's very cool to add some more depth to her. But I'm curious how the other Seis members are going to rally now, because some of them are more defeated than others. So what are your guys' thoughts on this chapter? Leave it in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and this is Strago, signing out.